Okay. So the next point, of course, is when you go into these engagements, because whatever you decide, if you start giving extended terms and things like that, it's going to start affecting your margins and your original contract agreement with this client. And we've touched a little bit on it already. The question is, should we renegotiate? Should we go into to our original contract, and how's it going to affect the relationship with my client for this period? So we say, okay, we ring-fence this debt. Should we charge them interest on the debt if it's not in my original agreement? Should we change the margin that we've agreed on this debt? Should we suspend settlement discount for the period, or should we offer them a bigger settlement discount to entice them to pay our account rather than to pay our opposition's account? I mean, there's various ways and means. Any thoughts on that, Peter?
Obviously, you want to look at your own margins, and you've got certain room in your margin to play with. I think as a business you have to question, like, okay, are we going to support our clients at the expense of our margin? That might, on the short run, have a negative effect on your financial performance as a company, but could have a positive effect in the long term, because you're helping your clients survive this very difficult period, and you help them stay in business, which is maybe on a long-term view is better than cutting them short right now and they're not surviving this period of distress, and then you sit without a client. So I think that's where you have to, as a company, you have to look at the short, medium, and long-term perspective of how do you want to help your clients at the expense of your margins. Obviously, also don't want to be too lenient or to give too much away, because then you can put your own business at stake. And that's, you've got, as a company, you've got also your own people to pay, your financiers and other stakeholders, and your suppliers as well. So do everything wisely, look at whether in the short term support makes sense at the expense of your margin, but that will have a benefit or positive effect in the long run.
Yeah, you see that one thing that jumps to mind immediately is there's a lot of companies that are already in a payment plan situation, or in a ring-fence situation, or a special arrangement situation due to COVID. And now they get hit by this. So one or two things are going to happen. They're either going to have to renegotiate again, or the worst of all, they're going to go into business rescue, or they're going to go into liquidation. And we all know that business rescue happens like this. There's no pre-warning, there's no sitting around a table. This guy goes, he sees a business rescue practitioner and says, I need help, I need to rescue this business. They write to us as credit providers and they say, our client, Mr. Martin Petzer Pty Limited, has approached us and we have decided that business rescue is the only option for him. And now you are sitting in a situation as to decide, am I now going to continue by supporting business rescue? And if that means you got to continue supplying him. And if you say no, then it means you're going to sit on the sideline and wait for this process to play out to then find out if you're going to get paid in the end or not. Or if you are a secured creditor, do I exercise my rights? Do I go to my credit insurer and they decide, no, we're not supporting the rescue plan, and they sink the debtor? There's so many things that goes to play in this role and in this scenario. But once again, summary quickly: clear communication lines with your client, open communication with the client, put all the cards on the table, most important of all, put it all in writing, and make sure that every party that is involved in this transaction understands and agrees on it. So if there's a credit insurer, they understand it. If there's a debtor, they understand the rules or the new contractual agreements that you've done, that it's all in writing, that it's all clear, and as you said, that there is a time frame or a time limit on all of this. And it even goes further than that. When there's securities or anything called for, that those securities could also be time restricted. You might be a person that say, I will never sign personal surety for my business. But when it comes to a situation where your business that you have worked very hard for 35 years is now standing on the brink of closure, if you do not get supplied by someone specific, you then put pen to paper and say, I will give my personal surety for the next 6 months, that if you continue supplying me, I will do my utmost to continue paying you until we get to that stage that my business is settled and we're back on platform one where we were prior to whatever it is that has caused disruption for us, or this disturbance in our business for us. Very well put. Thank you very much for that, Peter.